You're listening to Dexter Guff is Smarter Than You, and you can be too. The self-empowerment podcast where Dexter Guff shares his proven strategies to help you live an amazing life exactly like his. Except it's yours.
Hey everybody, Dexter Guff here. I got to touch on something here right off the bat. Guff pills. Yeah, that's not coming back anytime soon. Because here's the message I received yesterday.
Dexter, this is Mark Foster calling. You need to stop reaching out to me directly. There are appropriate channels for this kind of communication. Also, the crate of wine on my doorstep is completely inappropriate. I will not be settling out of court. You can talk to my lawyers. I'll see you in court.
Yep, that was Mark Foster. Good old Mark Foster. Didn't want to settle out of court. We're going to court. Ugh, Mark, why did you do this? We could have done it. Could have thrown some cash at this, made this go away. But we're going to court. What Mark wants to do, he wants to dance. Fine, I'll dance. I know the steps. I've been there before. It's just so frustrating. It just means this whole thing's going to take forever to get you the pills. That's what I'm trying to do. All I want to do is get you guys these Guff pills. I know that you need them. I know a lot of you literally medically need them because you're going in withdrawal. You know, and then also I'm sitting on a lot of inventory. I mean, I forked up $400,000 on the inventory alone. It's just sitting there in a warehouse. Premium bottles, I'm paying for all that. Already paid for it. Ugh. Anyways, Tammy, play me in.
Let's do this.
D, this is gonna be fun. I dare you to listen. It's time. E, on your mental treadmill, what takes priority? Your goals or your dreams?
Dexter Guff.
X,
Technology, entertainment, design. Throw that out the window. That's old news.
are you kidding me? Come on now. What was your biggest failure? No, let me guess. I don't think you're ready.
I'm Dexter Guff, and I'm smarter than you.
Okay, I'm back. Let's do this. Man, that feels better. I'm going to forget all of this Guff pill nonsense, Mark Foster, because I got a great show. I've got a great show for you. Very excited about this one. Today's show, the theme of the show, is all about executive assistants and just how important they are. So my guest today is actually a professional executive assistant, a top tier. Of course, Dexter Guff's going to bring you top tier executive assistant. But even more interesting than that, this particular executive assistant is actually the EA for Sharon Doyle. That's right. Melissa is here. So that's great. Sharon Doyle, of course, thought leader. Some of you may have, I've mentioned her in a couple of previous episodes a little bit. A very interesting person, someone I'm trying to, well, regardless, Melissa's here. So I'm excited to talk to her about being an executive assistant and just kind of catch up on what Sharon's been up to. So we'll talk to her later. But before we do that, with the theme being executive assistants, out of the blue, Tammy came up huge. Yes, you did, Tammy, because she found an archival piece of audio of me giving a talk on the importance of executive assistants. And I got to say, I hadn't heard this in I don't know how long. I killed it. I crushed it. I get why it was a packed house. It was an amazing talk. Anyways, it's going to be very helpful, very on point as to just why it is that you need to have an executive assistant. Everyone needs one. So won't you join me in the Thought Palace for an archival listen of a talk that I gave in Kansas City. This is today's Thought Release.
Hey everybody, great to be here. Insight 2015. Love Kansas City. Love you guys. One more time for Pitbull. He killed it. Insta-wealth. I love that phrase. That's something I'm going to revisit. Well, I want to talk to you about something that's also pretty important. And that is the prestige that comes along with having an executive assistant. I want to break this down a little bit. Is prestige important? Let's talk a little bit about perception. It's a pretty big word. Perception. How are you perceived? Because how I'm perceived now that I have an executive assistant is very different than how I used to be perceived. And I'm not talking about just because the things that they can do. You know, making sure your shirt's pressed, making sure that latte's hot there on the desk at 6:30. Let's talk about what they do for your reputation. You could be some nobody sitting on his IKEA futon in his one-bedroom apartment trying to bang out some leads on his computer, not much going on, but as soon as you are that guy with an executive assistant, already people think, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm dealing with somebody that's got so much going on. He needs an EA. He needs a king's hand. He needs a second memory. He needs a backup hard drive just in case the mainframe collapses. That's who this guy is. And that's who you need to be. Having an executive assistant says a little something about you. Let me tell you about my aha moment. Had a pretty big meeting at Google. Doesn't get much bigger than that. Top brass is in the room with me. We're about to seal a deal. We're actually talking about a partnership with my brand and these, Google Glass. That's what I'm wearing right now. Very cool. I'm an early adopter. Very soon, everybody in this room will be wearing these 24/7. Very cool. Anyways, I'm in that boardroom, and one of the executives says to me, Dex, great meeting. Very excited. Just let me know who your executive assistant is so I can loop back and we can seal this deal. Instantly, alarm bells are going off in my head. I know I don't have an EA, but I'm not going to let him know. I say, absolutely. My executive assistant is downstairs. I just didn't want to bring them up until the big dogs are done chewing on the bone. I pop downstairs. My wheels in my head are spinning. I get out of the elevator, step out in front of Google. First person I see, tap him on the shoulder, and I said, do you have a job? Thankfully, she did not. I grab her, we go back upstairs, into the Google boardroom. That day is when Tammy Alvarez became my executive assistant. And it's also the day that I partnered with Google Glass. Tammy, stand up. There you go. It's a nice wave. That's Tammy Alvarez, everybody. Had absolutely nothing going on in her life until the day that she became my executive assistant. Thank you, Tammy. You can sit down. Yes, sit down now. Here's something kind of interesting. Hillary Clinton. Hillary Rodham Clinton. Would it blow your mind that as a young law school intern going to school, she was an executive assistant? Well, that former executive assistant is well on her way to being the first woman president in the United States of America. And that's pretty impressive. I want to tell you this. If you want to send a message out to the rest of the world that you got things going on, that you're a VIP, then you need an executive assistant. One of the most powerful secret weapons any entrepreneur can have. And if you have any questions about today's talk, don't come to me directly. Why don't you hit up my EA, my executive assistant? Thank you so much, everybody. You can also find me on Vine, the only social media with staying power. Thanks, everybody.
Funny, just hearing that again, I'm reminded that at the time when I was saying, the stuff I said about Google Glass, I actually knew that it would be a fad, that it would be something that wasn't going to last, wasn't going to work. I couldn't say it in that room. So, but I knew at that moment. So I just wanted to clarify that for you, for the Guff heads. I called it, I knew it, just couldn't say it. Good. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So now it is time for a word from the sponsor of today's sponsor break. And today, we've got a personal favorite. When a woman's in the mood, she slips into something more comfortable, like a negligee or teddy. But when a man wants to send that same message, what does he wear? Introducing Eddie, an intimate male slip with the sensual allure of a woman's nightie, but made for the masculine form. The Eddie comes in designs ranging from canvas to camouflage to matte black and the seasonally very popular red velvet. Get sized for your Eddie today. Head to themaleslip.com/Dexter. That is themaleslip.com/Dexter. And get 10% off your masculine silk intimate. I've used these guys, and trust me, it turns up the heat. Get ready for it. Be prepared when you slide into one of these silky singlets. Okay, and now here is a word from our show sponsor. You're a podcast listener. You have found lots of shows that you love, like this one. Oh yeah, baby, I'm changing your life. But what about shows and podcasts for your kids? Until now, the offerings have been spotty and hard to find. That is why Panoply created Pinna, an entire audio service just for kids. Pinna is a standalone iPhone app filled with hours of original stories, serials, great podcasts, all-you-can-listen audiobooks, and much, much more. Stuff's being added every week. In fact, I have pitched them on an idea that I think is going to go huge. It's an entrepreneurial self-help podcast for 2-year-olds. It's kind of like a Shark Tank, but aimed at that toddler age. I think it's going to go huge. Anyway, stay tuned for that. Audio gets your kids off of screens and gets them to use their imaginations. Pinna is ad-free, guilt-free, and a great activity for car time, bath time, group time, bedtime, or any time other than when you're listening to this podcast. That's not the time for that. Regardless, try Pinna for free. Go to pinna.fm/listen to start your free trial today. That's Pinna, Pinna. I love that service so much, I'm thinking about having kids. Very excited to finally be at the feature interview of today's program. This is something that could not come fast enough because I am so excited to talk to you, Melissa Wright.
Hello. I'm so excited as well.
Melissa, you have just brought some light to the studio, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Very excited to talk a little bit about executive assistants because let's face it, you're one of America's best executive assistants.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
I'm very flattered. That means a lot. Thank you very much.
Well, I mean, flattery is totally deserved. I mean, I'm looking at this CV here, and I'm seeing some pretty big names that you VA'd for. Tom Cardiff, hello.
Yeah.
Shane,
the one and only.
Yes, Shane Miller.
Yes.
Woo. Kim Roberts.
Oh, yes. She's
Boom.
a delight. A delight.
And so as I keep on going down here, it takes us to today, and you are the executive assistant for someone that I am a huge fan of, Sharon Doyle.
Yes.
Which is, wow, that is very cool.
It's amazing.
It
Thank you.
must be.
Yes.
It must be. And just a little context for my listeners, of course, Sharon Doyle, an incredible thought leader, very talented person. And I had the great pleasure of spending some quality time with Sharon at Crushing It in Sacramento a few weeks back.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. You must have been there, Melissa.
I was there. Yes. I'm attached to her hip pretty much 24/7.
I know a few minutes where you weren't because I had a stroll on the Sacramento River with Sharon and I don't recall you being there beside her. Regardless, a great time at Crushing It in Sacramento, and I'm sure you guys must have had a great time too.
Oh, absolutely. It was a blast. Every time. Yeah.
Does she?
Sharon loves meeting her fans. Sharon loves meeting people, talking to people.
Right.
That's the thing that keeps her going. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, she's still talking up Crushing It in Sacramento. That was an amazing weekend. She talked about that. That event.
She doesn't talk about it now, but it definitely was a home run for her. And,
it was.
she crushed it.
Yeah, she did.
Crushing it.
She did. We did.
Yes,
we were crushing it. And,
sorry, what were you doing you were there to attend it?
I give keynote.
Okay.
I was giving a keynote.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, not sure if Sharon caught that. It was on the Friday, but regardless, I was there keynote, kicking it off.
Very cool.
It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Okay, so so many things I want to ask you, but I think off the top, we better talk a little bit about EAs.
Yeah.
Sort of get that out of the way, then we can really talk. Jot down a couple questions.
Yeah.
I'll just rattle them off, take it where they land.
Sure.
When did you become an EA?
I became an EA 5 years ago.
Wow, good for you.
I had graduated from Michigan State.
Okay, good. So how important is it to anticipate the needs of your executive, to kind of be on top of that?
Well, Sharon puts it really great, really brilliantly rather, that I am her second brain.
Oh, Sharon uses that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I always say about. Common. So scale of 1 to 10. What would you say communication skills need to be at to be a good EA? 1 being I don't talk, or 10 being I am talking all the time.
Okay.
Effectively.
Well, the first one, if you don't talk, probably being an executive assistant would be your worst nightmare, and you might want to do something very, very different when you do life.
Sure. So then just pick a number.
Yes. So I would say, well, you don't want to be.
We can shelve that one. If it's...
No. You don't want to be 10.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be a perfectionist. That's something that Sharon absolutely hates. You need to have.
She doesn't like
a few little. Bumps
she wants to see the
along
cracks. She wants to see the cracks.
But you also have to give 100%, and you also can't fail. So there's a real challenge in that.
So this is from Sharon's desk that she doesn't like. She wants to see the cracks, but you've got to. So she likes tenacity.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
So I would say communication skills have to be quite strong.
Okay, so let's mark that down as a 10. Good EAs have the heart of a servant. How important is that, being loyal?
You know what I like to think about is, remember, I don't know if you've ever been to a museum to see like the ancient Egyptian scribes.
I think we're getting a bit off track here. Just the loyalty is what I'm trying to drive at here.
Of those. Oh,
okay,
yes.
so
the loyalty is
good.
very strong.
I've only got one more question here. The 3 most important things that you do every day are?
The important things I do every day, I get up, I look in the mirror, and I say, here we go.
Okay, good. So that's pretty much what I have on the EA front. I think that was very helpful, but we do have a bit more time here. Let's talk a little bit about, what am I going to talk about? Sharon.
Okay.
Obviously, she's the incredible talent, the incredible talent that is Sharon. Tell me a little bit about what it's like on a daily basis working with her. What does Sharon start her day doing? Snapshot of Sharon here.
Well, I mean, what doesn't she do? She somehow, I'm always constantly amazed by how she finds a way to fill every single second of every single day.
Okay.
And making that significant.
So she's busy.
She's extremely busy. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I showed you her calendar, you'd probably have to have sunglasses because the colors are immensely bright.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying? That I'd love to take a peek. I think it would be actually very helpful to take a peek.
Oh, no, I
at
was
Sharon's
just joking, actually.
Okay.
I was just kidding.
Good.
No, it was a hypothetical. You should see the calendar. Yeah.
So I would
never.
No. That's not even what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying that obviously an EA and staying on account would be very interested to see that calendar just to get a sense of what a top tier EA is trying to schedule. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Well, it's a breach of trust if I did show you her calendar, but I will say that she is extremely busy and it is quite full. Yes. You can trust me on that one.
Right. Hard for her to kind of make time for the personal when you're that busy.
She definitely makes time to have a personal life, of course, because that's very important. You can't just go through life work.
Well, that's what I think. I'm curious about this because I'm always interested in that balance between being an effective executive and yet getting a sense of what that personal side is. What's from personal. What's Sharon's personal life?
Personal life, she's
but on her personal time, who is she? What's that all about for Sharon?
Well, I mean, she's constantly, thinking about her writing and her keynotes and her speaking and, she's keeping tabs on her emails, but she's also keeping tabs on her personal life. She's going to the movies.
Okay.
She's traveling quite a bit.
Does she have a personal email account, or how does that work? How does she split it up? Oh, she does.
Yeah, she's got a personal phone. She's got a personal laptop. She's got a personal all of that.
And this goes directly to her. This is
only a few people have access to like her close family and friends, and of course myself. But that's kind of But if you need to get in contact with her in any way, you just go to the website. You go to contact.
What is her like? I'm just so curious. What makes her tick? A favorite gift she received this year was what?
Oh, a favorite gift she received was from a 5-year-old fan. It was the cutest drawing of a heart with eyes carrying a huge laptop. It was absolutely sweet. And she keeps that. She put that in a frame, and it's over her desk.
Oh, okay. So, but if there was an adult gift, is there something that is this someone that likes to spa, or does she do the juice thing, or what is her thing?
Well, I mean, I guess there's nothing, there's nothing compares to like a delicious chocolates or.
She's got a sweet tooth.
Yes, she does, but it's more kind of like the symbolism of a chocolate.
The symbolism of
yes.
In
Just
the way
because
of
because it symbolizes sweetness, but it also, dark chocolate is good for your health, so it kind of promotes good health, but also happiness.
Well, this has been an amazing conversation. Just out of my curiosity, where's Sharon next?
Well, that's a very good question. Let me look into her calendar, if I may.
All right. And this is mostly for the listener, as I say, again, to just sort of get a sense of what your responsibilities would be. So you have to know where she's going. What's she up to next? What's her weekend looking like?
Yes, so I'm looking at her calendar right now. And coming up, she's going to be at the Innovation Now seminar.
Innovation
It's
Now?
in Pittsburgh, yes.
Oh.
She's speaking, and she's not only going to be doing a power read, but she's going to be doing the large conference room there as well. She's going to be speaking.
Amazing, Melissa. I'm also going to be at Innovation Now in Pittsburgh. Tammy,
wow.
we're there. Where is Sharon at? Is she the Doubletree? Is that where they put her up, or is she?
Yes, she's no.
Double check, Tammy. I'm pretty sure we're Doubletree.
Oh, you know what? She's not Doubletree. I thought she's at La Quintas. So
Oh, you know what? That's where I was thinking anyways.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh my gosh. Okay, I sound like a scatterbrain. I'm like completely need another Java. Okay, she is actually at the Hampton Inn in the
And is that for sure?
suite. Yes.
Okay, so she's going to be at the Hampton Inn too. Well, this is great. The plan of obviously for me being at Innovation Now 2017. We're doing a live podcast. Be great to actually. It would be. This is interesting. It would be great to have a conversation with Sharon in Pittsburgh. Is that what is her? Take a look at her calendar. I wonder if Melissa. I wonder if you could.
Let's see. I don't know.
You have to. This is.
Well,
you
she's
can
got
work
a-
your magic on this a bit, right?
Okay,
Finesse
well, let
it a
me
bit.
look. Yeah,
Sure.
let me take a look here. Well,
Yeah.
it looks like, she's got a 20-minute gap before her 2 p.m. Power read.
Before 2
on
p.m., so that
Saturday.
makes it 1:40. Let's nail that down.
I'm putting it in as a light green right now, and then when I confirm it, I'll make it a solid green.
Come on, let's go forest green on this. This is locked down. We're locked on that, Tammy. 1:40 with Sharon.
Well, I'll double check. I'll make sure.
And we'll have to see. Okay, well, this is great. So I'm glad that we did that, Melissa. You are a superstar.
Thank
what
you.
a great conversation. I think we learned a lot about EAs. You did it perfectly right. And I cannot wait to see Sharon and you in Philadelphia at Inspire.
Oh, it's Pittsburgh in Innovation Now.
Innovation Now. Tammy, get it right. Wow. Okay. What an interview. I mean, was that fruitful or what? Tammy, get on the phone. Book the travel stuff for Pittsburgh. We're going. This is amazing. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm telling you what, I'm looking at Tammy right now. Her jaw is dropped. Yeah, that's right, Tammy. That's what an executive assistant does. Do you even have a day planner? Because you should take notes. That was huge. What Melissa does for Sharon is huge. That's what I need you to do, Tammy. Okay. That's the show. Amazing show. Man, that was fun. Want to hear from you on Twitter this week and on Instagram. Find me at DexGuff. And of course, get onto Apple Podcasts. Leave your thoughts there. Chuck me up a 5-star. You know I love seeing those 5s, baby. Have a great week. Go out there, make it happen, do it, crush it, grind it out. It's your life. D-Guff, out. Hey, Tammy, did you see how many phones Melissa had? Very impressive. Go to Verizon, get another phone. You got to up that phone count. If you're going to be my EA, up that phone count.